Good morning, this is Neil's Han Dynasty, coming to you live from the basement of the Han Dynasty. Like, share, and subscribe. Be helpful, kind, and grateful. And, if you want to survive and come out the other side of what's coming in a better situation than 99.5% of the world, buy silver and platinum, because you can't eat it, you can't wipe your ass with it, you can't fucking mow the lawn with it, but you can pay someone to do all of that stuff with it. Anyhow, this is a story about how other people are starting to realize Neil of Neil Han Dynasty is right again. China's dead. Dead, 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 dead.
Far worse than it is in the United States. Because while we have millennials, they don't. And they also have something called the one-child policy, which has been gutting the Chinese demographic for 40 years now. And China is now the fastest collapsing demographic in human.
Hold on, what is this? A world leader. BRICS, the country that's gonna rule the world. Rule the world is the fastest collapsing demographic in human history. Well, I guess you people who think China's gonna rule the world, they might rule the world for 3 days before they collapse. Because what you're seeing now isn't strength in China, it's death. It's the death of the Chinese culture and the Chinese Communist Party. That's what you're seeing right now. That's why they're showing strength. Do they have strength when they're the fastest collapsing demographic in human history? I know a lot of liberals out there are saying, all they gotta do is have sex and they'll have babies. Yeah, okay. They're not doing that. They're intentionally not doing that. The Chinese people are not doing that because they are smarter than the people watching this show. They know their country's fucked up. And they don't want their country anymore. They want China, not the CCP.
Human history.
Human history.
There's no way the PRC survives the next decade in its current form. They just don't have the tax structure and the labor structure to even try. So
hold on, what? They don't have the income or the infrastructure to try to be a world leader? Oh my God, is Neil right again? Yeah.
It was always going to fail this decade. COVID may be speeding things up a little bit. And the end of China as kind of a major centerweight in the East Asian geopolitical
Oh my
structure,
God, China's falling, like Neil said, like Neil said, like Neil said.
decades to come. Now, from the American point of view, this is all a net gain. From the Japanese point of view, this is all a net gain. But for
hold on a second. In my video yesterday, China and India were doing war games. Now, why is India betting, or excuse me, Japan and India were doing war games right after the China-Russia war games? Why would India partner up with Japan, China's #1 historical enemy? Well, I don't know. Maybe the Indians know that China's dead, and they're keeping that a secret from the Americans because we're buying too many Gucci bags and watching too much cartoons and, hey, let's hold hands with the guy down the street and give him some tongue. Yeah, that's what America's concerned with. Not too many guys out there, too many girls out there are concerned with facts, reality, and truth. That's what I bring you. That's what I bring all 20 of you that watch my videos. Facts and truth. Believe it. Even if it sounds weird. If I'm reporting it, yeah, it's probably the truth. If I'm saying it, I'll say it, then I'll find proof out there somewhere.
some of the countries that were trying to have their foot in both worlds, have their cake and eat it too, this is a bit of a disaster. So if you are Korea or say Thailand or maybe even India, where you've tried to balance your security needs with the United States, your economic needs with the Chinese,
you're about to lose both. A great commercial.
You're about to lose both.
Told you he was about to lose both.
The Americans are no longer interested in patrolling the world, and they're resourcing their entire manufacturing system. That doesn't leave a lot else for anyone else. Xi has really done everything he could to purge the system of all potential rivals. And that has included intimidating into silence or imprisoning anyone who is capable of independent thought within the bureaucratic system. So you never want to rule out something like a coup. It could happen, but if that did happen, it's difficult to see whoever would pull it off to be able then to control the country on the other side of it. They might be a regional leader and they might be fine for their region, but the rest of the Chinese system would have a different opinion on who should be in charge. That's how civil wars begin. So I don't think that's a great thing to put your hopes into if you're hoping for China to remain part of the international system.
But that's what's going to happen.
In the case of Russia, it's not quite so tight. Which is not to say that it's not tight. There's probably 6 people remaining that have access to Putin on a regular basis, 3 of whom are toadies and who are incompetent. That's like the defense minister Shoigu or Medvedev, the former president. And then there's 3 people who are actually intelligent, like Patrushev, who ran the KGB for the longest time, or excuse me, FSB now, or Igor Sechin, who's in charge of the state oil concern. But of everyone within the Russian elite, the only one who might have the guts to actually off Putin is Igor Sechin himself. But if there's one thing everyone else in Russia agrees upon, it's that Igor Sechin is kind of a prick, and they would all kill him if he actually tried. So there's not a lot of hope in terms of Kremlin watching or Forbidden City watching in terms of what might be a smooth transition from these 2 leaders.
Okay, hold on a second. Smooth transition. Chinese CCP leader has murdered all his competition. Putin kind of sort of done the same thing. Kind of makes you wonder how long it's going to be before America's the greatest power in the world. Again, God bless America and everyone here. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. I just don't say these things to make you feel good or make you think I'm a good person. Hell, I'm probably not a good person compared to other people. Compared to the Pope, I'm a great person because he's a dick. But get real, people. Let's have a real conversation here on reality. Reality. Russia, China, they're not leading crap. Not leading crap. They're on the downward spiral. America's getting close, but like India, we still have a positive birth rate, which means we will be around longer than both the CCP China and Russia, which leaves America and India in about 20 years as the 2 world reserve currencies. And as I've already stated, India's done all the appropriate paperwork and bought all the gold and silver. You see all these financial channels, India's buying all this gold and silver, this is good, this is good, this is good. Yeah, but what they're not telling you, or what they fail to see, or what they don't understand, is India's doing that because they're going to be the next world reserve currency after Russia and China fall. China's going to be the first to fall. Russia will probably save itself because they got this 10-child policy, which I know only 400,000 women in the past have done it. So 400,000 times 10 is 4 million. So they can create millions of people with money. They've done it in the past. Putin just reinitiated this policy that ended in 1991 with the 10-child policy, paying 1 million rubles, rubies, whatever their money's called, to women who have 10 children. And they're like, oh no, no one's going to have that many children, 10 million rubies isn't blah, 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 blah. 400,000 women already took advantage of it in the past. So, imagine if 400,000 women here in America had 10 children. Well, shit, that would definitely add to our population too. All you gotta do is pay them $1 million. There's things that we can do easily after we get rid of our failed political wannabe, thoughtless, brainless, mindless, stupid leaders that steal, cheat, lie, and really aren't our leaders, but for their feelings they have to say they are. But anyhow, let's get back to the show, because I know you guys want to hear more about how Neil's been right.
COVID disruptions were about substitution. The disruptions we're now starting to see are about flat-out replacement. We know that the system that made everything that we know in 2019 is not coming back. We know that the Russian materials are falling off the market. If it's not because of boycotts or sanctions, it's going to be because a lot of the productive capacity in Russia was done by Western technocrats, especially if you're talking energy in Eastern Siberia, which is the stuff that feeds into China. And then the Chinese can't adapt anymore.
Oh my God.
In that sort of environment, we need to rebuild a fundamental system.
Hold on a second here. Did he just say Russia got all of their resources from American companies that work in Siberia? Yes, he did. So, sanctions might be working. Sanctions don't work overnight. I don't say, you're never going to work here again. You're done. And you feel the pain that night. You still have money from the paychecks you had before. You still have things going. It takes time before you fall. So, anyhow, I'm going to end this here because, man, I'm tired of seeing this stuff happening and trying to wake people up to reality before they get crushed. I'm trying, though. I really am. I'm trying.